Welcome to Find It in Fergus Falls. I'm Lisa Workman with the Fergus Falls Chamber. We've got a great guest for you lined up today. We're going to talk about the holidays and how to keep so much out of the landfill. Cedar Walters with Otter County. She's with the recycling department. She's going to be here to give us some tips that we can use not just for the holidays but for moving into the next year. So stay tuned.
Wash and go, get your shine on. Wash and go.
While you may not mind driving around with a dirty vehicle, the truth is, dirt is abrasive and can eat away at your car's clear coat over time. Wash and Go is open 24 hours, 7 days a week to keep your car clean and shining. Wash and Go, a locally owned business supporting our local community. Wash local with Wash and Go, and don't forget to download the Touch for Wash app for unlimited car wash packages.
Wash and go, get your shine on. Wash and go, wash and go.
Welcome back to Find It in Fergus Falls. Cedar Walters with Otter County is joining me today. Cedar, glad to have you on the show.
Thank you, Lisa.
We've got a number of big holidays coming up, and you know, a lot of people get wrapped up in all the meal planning and the gift giving and all of that kind of stuff, but we can really generate a lot of extra trash during the next few weeks, I'll bet.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of sad to think about, but we do make about 25% more waste during the holiday season than we do any other time of the year.
Well, absolutely. You think about Thanksgiving dinner alone and you have, options of 14 or 15 different things, and the leftovers are great, but after a couple days they need to go somewhere else. So maybe we should start talking about that.
Yeah, well, and it's really everything. We're kind of doing more of everything we do around the year, right?
It's the season of access.
We're buying more food. We're maybe buying disposable plates for holiday gatherings.
Yes.
We're buying gifts, and that comes with packaging. So we can hit on some of those things. But one thing that I find kind of exciting, especially when you're having gatherings and serving lots of food, is a large portion of landfill waste is food. Most people don't realize that is the single largest category of waste that goes into landfills.
Wow.
It kind of blows my mind still.
Yeah.
And really, now that we have actually an organics recycling program, and that's just the industry term for commercial composting.
Sure.
Where it goes to a large facility and it's all composted in kind of a very controlled way, really opens up, doing a lot more recycling and composting at events, which is really exciting.
Yeah. There is a big deal. You think about if you go to a buffet or any of these big events, there seems to be, there's always a lot of food waste.
Right, or if you're having a potluck at work or a holiday party at work. I mean, a lot of us are thinking about those kind of events. And we're usually out there buying paper plates or styrofoam or other things like that.
Yeah. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
How can we put less in the landfill?
Yep. And so right here, we're going to just kind of walk through some best practices, I would say, for how you can set up kind of waste sorting at an event. And this could be a big meal at your house for a holiday gathering. This could be that work holiday party or work potluck. This could even be, some people even are doing some stuff like this in a little break area in a break room at work. So the first thing is, don't ever assume that people will just know what to do with a recycling bin even.
No.
I can't tell you how many...
what all goes in there. Signs help.
Oh my gosh, yes. So I often going around in my work, I'll see a recycling bin, and it's just a blue bin. There's no sign on it. And so the first thing is, don't assume people will know what to do. Use signs that are color coded if possible.
Pictures.
Pictures with pictures on them and examples. And so actually we have a nice little waste sorting station here, and on the front is printable signage. So we just have a PDF on our website. You can print this off and slap it on. Really any bin would be fine. These are just ones I happen to have at work. And really that's good. That's right there is a big step in the right direction, just showing guests, if they're at your house, they don't know where your recycling bin is or whatever. So let's make it obvious for people and make it easy for people.
Absolutely.
So that's the first thing is put some labels on it, include some pictures, have it color coded, and we're gonna make it easy for you. Just go print it off.
Get a head start on
Yep, that's right. And I like to too, even on the wastebasket here, it says landfill. Let's remind people that this is
where it's
going somewhere. Like, do you really want that to sit in there forever?
Right.
Or do you want to consider one of the other options you're going to provide to guests?
Sure.
And so then, of course, recycling bin, and I'm going to give a few examples of that. And then we've got a compost bin here.
Sure. With
Yep.
special bags.
Yep, with compostable bags. So about a year and a half ago, we started the organics recycling program in Otter County. And that really is collecting large amounts of food waste and other compostable waste like napkins or something,
Sure.
paper napkins, from schools, healthcare, and restaurants. And so really in Fergus Falls, we just want to thank all the partners that we have here in the community that do this. A large number of the sites that we do this with, there's 30 sites altogether, are right here in Fergus Falls, and they're having a huge impact doing
Oh,
this
yeah.
program at their location. And so each week in that program, we're collecting over 6,000 pounds of food.
Every week?
Yeah, and this
Oh
is
my
still
gosh.
a pilot program. Like, we're only a year and a half in. This is new to us. And so it's really important to have those kind of early adopters.
Yeah, that's
Be
great.
willing to go on this journey with you, because we did learn, we made some adjustments along the way, but really it's just like recycling. You're just scraping a plate or tapping a tray or scraping your cutting board at a restaurant into this green bin instead of the
Yeah.
trash. But that also makes it possible for at events for you to use compostable products. There's a wide range of things like that. So that would replace your typical paper plate that's trashed, or your
straws,
styrofoam that's trashed, the straws, or the plastic utensils that are trashed. There's alternatives for all those things that can go straight into a compost bin because they're designed to do that.
Sure.
But
They
before
break
this,
down.
yeah, before this program, most people didn't realize you need a special place for that stuff to go. For the most part, it's not really going to work in a backyard compost bin the right way. So let's just walk through kind of,
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
wanting to do kind of a waste sorting station at an event or at your house, here's what you should think about when you're purchasing. And we do have on our website as well a compostable products purchasing guide, because if you
Fantastic.
don't know what to look for, it can be kind of hard.
A little overwhelming at times, and you
Yeah.
think these are choices that you could make as you're planning, as you're hosting.
Yes.
Just include that in part of your
Yep.
party plan.
Yeah, and really, that's all it takes, really, is just think a little bit ahead. And there are some options available locally. And so I'll share a couple of things I brought with me today. So one of the first things you can do is just look for ordinary brands in the store, but that because of what they're made out of could totally go in there. And
Sure.
It wouldn't be a big deal. So
And they
Chinette.
make it easy with the green labeling.
Well, yes, they do. Some aren't quite so obvious, but anytime you see something that is a plain fiber, so Chinette is a really, it says classic on here. Such a classic example of this, where it's just tree fiber. There's no shiny coating, there's no printing, there's no waxy or plasticky layer on this. This is just some plain paper fiber. This can totally go right into a compost bin, the organics bin.
And they're great for the potlucks because they
Yes.
hold
They hold
hold
stuff.
a fair amount of
You
food.
can get dessert size. You can get a separated,
Yep.
tray
You don't want
one
your
with the
food touching each other.
Right. Keep all that separate. Keep the sweet from the savory. So you can find this in almost any store.
Sure.
And then essential everyday, which you can find like at Service Food. That would be another example. They're just plain fiber plates. You can find these in almost any store. If you had this with a paper napkin or something for some sort of dessert bar for a holiday party,
Right.
you're done. Every single thing can go in that bin. You don't even have to worry about a garbage.
Fantastic.
So that's kind of a good example. Another example is not everything that you could purchase in the store is going to be compostable.
Sure.
So if you're just thinking, I'll just go buy paper plates and that'll be fine. So if you're going to buy a paper plate that has shiny coating, here's one of those examples,
yeah.
and some colored printing, that does go in the trash. So you
Sure.
do want to look for the right thing. Another thing you can look for is certified compostable products. So there's going to be a logo
Is that
on the
compostable silverware?
Yes, so there's
Wow.
utensils. They look and feel a little bit like plastic, but they're made out of a corn-based resin
Sure.
that has been tested and is shown to break down.
So that can go right
Yep,
in
that
the
can go right in
compostable.
there. And these you would want to look for some sort of labeling. And the most common would be BPI compostable,
Okay.
Biodegradable Products Institute. And you can find these both at Service Food and at Dutchman Organics. So right here in town, you really could purchase all your supplies for a party and have it all be able to go in that compost bin and you'd be set.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and then of course, napkins and all food, including meat, bones, dairy. You don't even need to worry about it, just all
All
goes
of it.
in there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What doesn't go in here? Are they-
Anything plastic.
Plastic,
Yes,
okay.
so paper products that are coated with shiny or waxy or plasticky coatings.
Sure. Styrofoam cups.
Yeah, so here's a couple, let's do a couple more trash examples.
Yeah.
So anything styrofoam, And really, I know sometimes this is cheaper, but like making styrofoam stuff is toxic. Using it's not that good for us actually, and then throwing it away is kind of toxic. So
because it's there forever.
I know. So we can right here in town, we can choose something different. If you need larger amounts of compostable stuff, you can go buy in bulk online too.
Right.
It's readily available. We have some examples on our website, or you can always reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. Let me help you.
Well, and I think even our like local office supply companies like Cooper's and Victor
Yeah.
Lundin's, they have suppliers for your
Yeah.
business
Yes.
where you can buy these products too. So.
Yep. So there's really a lot of options out there. You just need to think ahead a little bit. You know, pick up a copy of that compostable products purchasing
Right.
guide, and you'll have a better sense of what to do.
Absolutely.
The other thing you can do is, if you're going to put out a recycling bin, and you're going to, of course, any cans or bottles are going to go in there,
Right.
and that's just an easy thing you can do. But you can also look out for, if you're going to buy plastic cups or something like that, you really want a cold cup. By the way, you can get compostable corn resin cups that look like this too.
Okay.
So you could, but if you end up with a plastic version, we do also have a quick guide to plastics recycling that's going to help you know what number of plastic should this cup be.
Sure.
So I can make sure my guests can put that in the recycling bin. And so I won't go into great detail, but a number 1, a number 2, or a number 5 are the plastic containers that are most easily recyclable.
Sure.
So those are the ones that we collect. And so really you can go to the store and be looking at the bottom of that package and get a sense for whether this would go in the recycling bin or not.
Which is just a fantastic idea and way
Yeah.
to care about Mother Earth. And like you said,
Yes.
there's a lot of plastic that isn't recyclable too. So
It's true,
Look
yep,
for
like-
the 1, the 2, and the 5.
Yeah, and like, I always bring examples, but yeah, like any other plastic is just gonna go in the trash. But really by putting out these other options, using that printable signage to make it really clear to people, you can even tape stuff on. Like if this was a compostable thing, which it's not, but just for the purpose of this, if you want people to be absolutely sure, you could tape
Right.
that compostable item on there. So
Having
people
examples,
really know.
yeah,
Yeah,
having
that's
examples
exactly.
goes a long way in that, and it's amazing once you start collecting
Yeah.
and composting how much does not go in the landfill, does not go in your trash.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we're down to like 1 bag a
Yeah,
week.
yeah, it really is amazing. And when you realize that really a quarter of your garbage is food waste and compostable stuff like paper towels and
Sure.
napkins, it's not a surprise then. You're like, oh yeah, I'm not really throwing that much away.
Yeah.
So do you know what happens
Fantastic.
when the party's over?
Yeah, what
For
happens when the
compostable
party's
stuff?
over? So what goes, where does this bag of stuff
Yeah,
go
so you've got your compostable bag, and I'm happy to hand out some samples of these. We also give some smaller ones out as a starter kit. You're gonna bag this up and you're gonna bring it to one of our food waste drop-off sites.
then? Okay.
So we have this commercial route that goes around and picks up every week, but on that same route, we have 4 public drop-off sites. We really wanted people who maybe didn't want to compost at home, maybe live in an apartment. This is a good way for them to also get that food waste out of the
Right.
garbage. You're gonna bag that up. This is just the example of the home pail that we do give out as a starter kit. It's got some information in there and some compostable bags for you to try out. You would go drop this off, and the drop off in Fergus Falls is right outside the recycling center. You can access it any time of the day. They're bright green carts. You cannot miss it when you drive into the parking lot. And you would just put your bagged food waste and compostable products, soiled paper products, just right in one of those green carts, and you walk away. And you know you've done a good thing, you've reduced your waste. All that goes to a compost facility in Douglas County and gets turned into new soil.
Oh, that's fantastic. Reused.
Yep, that's right.
Repurposed and all that good stuff. Well, as we talk about, we've talked a lot about food and party planning and the potlucks and things like that. What about working our way into like the gift giving season and things like that? What are some tips that you could provide for folks as they're either wrapping or, you know, planning the gift?
Yes, yes, and that really is part of it. And I like to focus more on experiences or things that we can eat up or use
Consumables.
up. Right, exactly. And I mean, I am a grown person. I really, sometimes, most of us buy exactly what we need when we need it.
Right.
So gift giving gets a little tougher when we're adults, but I always appreciate the chocolate. We have a great chocolatier right in town.
Right.
The coffee. Oh, we have a
Sure,
great
chocolate.
coffee roaster in town.
Yep. Local, less transportation.
Right. The really nice local handcrafted soap. Oh, hey, we have that in town. or even gift certificates for something that's more self-care. Maybe it's a manicure, maybe it's a massage. So
Sure.
we can really be thinking outside the box.
Keep it
sort of a
outside
good
the box.
pun.
Yeah.
Outside the gift box.
You're so funny.
And really be thinking about what, it doesn't have to be a thing either
right.
that we give people. Sometimes I just appreciate, hey, here's a $10 gift card to, toast or something. Let's go have coffee
Right.
together. Because really what I'm gonna value is that time with you. So I think we can think outside that. But when it comes down to wrapping paper, we're still gonna have gifts. I
Yes.
mean, I've got kids, there's gonna be real gifts under the tree too. It's just gonna happen. We have fun with reusable wrapping paper that we do with
Sure.
fabric. So I'll be
yeah.
demoing that at Soapworks at some point here in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yes, it's very fun. And so you can just think about how can we reuse things, either reuse those gift bags.
And they tend to last a long time.
They
At our
do,
house, we
like-
have, you use them once for Christmas,
Yeah.
and then you take them out, and then you put them back in the box. You bring them out the next year, and they've got 42 tags on them,
Yeah.
but,
Yep. Well, and really, I think people are getting more aware that regular wrapping paper is not recyclable.
Yeah.
By the time it's so thin to begin with, by the time it gets crumpled and covered with tape, and everybody's ripped it off the package. Sometimes it's got glitter or foil on it.
Right.
It's really not recyclable.
kind of plasticky coated.
Yeah, it's just not recyclable. And so the more, even if each family wrapped like a third of their gifts or a quarter of their gifts in something else that was reusable, or maybe a brown paper bag that your kids get to draw on or stamp
Right.
on, that probably is more recyclable, or at least you've reused it. I think we just need to be thinking about these things and not just assuming that
Not just making
that-
more trash. too.
yeah. So there's other options, and it doesn't mean you need to be less festive. It
Yeah.
really doesn't. The other thing I love is actually thrifting for some of that seasonal stuff.
Right.
If you're looking for extra baking dishes, pie plates, muffin pans, casseroles, really beautiful serving dishes, I mean, look no farther than your closest thrift store.
and we
because
have so many great ones.
we
here
have
in Fergus Falls.
we are spoiled. I feel spoiled here. But they have so much of that, and those things too, if you're not usually a thrift shopper, those things are so easy to clean.
Yeah.
You don't really need to worry about, sometimes clothing is off-putting to some people. There's so much other stuff there, and a lot of holiday decor too, so you don't need to go get a new pie dish or
Right.
whatever. There's stacks of them at every thrift store I've been to. So we can just be thinking too, what can you buy used? Because there's a lot of it out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of things to keep in mind. Like you said, this is the season of excess. It seems to be,
is.
more
It
food,
is.
more parties,
Yeah.
more activities, more gifts and things like that. But if we start thinking now about, saving the earth and not
Yeah.
putting as much in the landfill, that'll help us out in the long run.
Right, because that doesn't feel very Christmas-like to me.
Absolutely, not
right?
so festive. So, Cedar, if folks have questions about things like either if they're just getting started on this, or
Yeah.
if they're not sure if something's recyclable or not, what's the best resource for them?
Yep, so if you go to ottertailcounty.gov and go to the waste disposal and recycling section of the website, we have lots of resources. There's multiple pages on, what to recycle, how to recycle. There's a page all about the food waste drop-off site that actually includes the compostable products purchasing guide, the printable signage, how to sign up to use this. There's lots of information on there, including actually a reuse and donation page that has thrifted gift ideas, thrifting
yeah.
tips. There's all kinds of things. And so just go on there and take a look. If you can't find what you're looking for, or you need more information, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to answer questions by phone, by email. I mean, I even have friends texting me. We don't want everybody to do it that way, but really, I'm very accessible and happy to answer questions. We also have a great app on our website called the Waste Wizard. It's kind of like Google for your trash. You type in what thing you're trying to get rid of, like old paint or compostable stuff.
Sure.
And that answer will usually pop up.
Fantastic. So lots of great information on the
Yeah.
website, and thank you for giving us some tips on how we can prevent more things from going into the landfill and to be recycled.
Yeah, that's right.
Alrighty, well thanks so much. We'll be back after a little break.
The future is fast. The future is reliable. The future is local. The future is fiber. Park Region is committed to bringing fast, reliable, local fiber to South Battle Lake. Connect with us today at 218-998-2000 to go beyond the connection.
Well, thanks so much for joining us on our Find It in Fergus Falls show today. And I want to thank Cedar Walters, our guest, for joining us. And I hope you have a happy holiday season. I'm Lisa Workman. This has been Find It in Fergus Falls, and we'll see you again next time.